Hello, and welcome to Say Something Black Girl with Dr. J. I'm your girl, Dr. J. And today we are talking about friends or foe, the psychology of trust, betrayal, and connection in Black women. That's right. We are going to really dig deep in today's conversation because it is absolutely necessary. We are discussing friendship. You know, specifically the kind that impacts your mental health, your identity, and yes, sis, your peace. This episode explores what I would like to think trust, betrayal, competition, trauma, and how to identify authentic connections among Black women. Think about it. All of the relationships that you have established throughout your life with women of color. This is not about blame. This is about awareness and, yes, healing. I want to take this time to really dig deep into the type of relationships you have established, not only with your friends who may be blood related, but also friends who are not blood related. Healthy friendships regulate the nervous system. That's right. It is supposed to reduce stress, and it is supposed to improve your emotional well-being. Are your friendships doing that? Whether they are friends or family members. Because truly, family members should be your first friends, right? We'll answer that later in the segment. But unhealthy friendships increase anxiety, emotional exhaustion, and reinforce negative beliefs. If you constantly feel drained, that is an indication that this is not a healthy friendship. That is emotional labor. You know what it feels like to just feel drained? Because every time you're around this friend or group of friends, you just don't feel happy. There's something about it, as we women of color are known to be, and I hate to say this from the depths of my soul, crabs in a bucket. This mentality shows up when others minimize your success or become distant from you because you're growing and they may feel like they are not growing. It is often rooted in insecurity, a really negative mindset, and the fear of abandonment, because maybe they feel like you have outgrown them in some way, or that your success makes them feel less than. You know, I think about this, and it really is interesting to think about how it may elicit three key things that are negative: jealousy, envy, and greed. Jealousy because they are not supportive or excited about what you've accomplished, but fear of losing what maybe they have accomplished. Envy because they're wanting what you have, and greed because they're never feeling satisfied, ever. Unprocessed, these emotions lead to competition and resentment in that friendship. Have you ever felt like your friends are competing with you and not in a healthy way, not in a way to really support you and you're both growing, but competing with you and wanting one of you to lose. After this commercial break, we will come back and discuss more about the kinds of trauma and red flags you may see in relationships, particularly quote unquote good friends. This commercial, I want you to pay particular attention because it is highlighting a young African American girl who is only 11 years old, and she started her own business by learning how to crochet off of YouTube. She is now selling her authentic and one-of-a-kind creative hats, and I would love for you to support her business. Let's talk about the red flags after this commercial. Welcome back to Say Something Black Girl with Dr. J. And of course, I'm your girl, Dr. J. When we last left this last segment, I said we're going to now talk about some of the red flags and the trauma that might be associated with unhealthy relationships. Trauma can normalize unhealthy relationships. Think about that for a second. You may confuse chaos with connection and remain loyal despite harm due to conditioning. Listen, trauma in relationships is never a good thing. You have to be able to work through that trauma so that it doesn't develop into some of these things that we're going to talk about. One is competition. There is something about healthy competition. You know, when you with your girls and you guys are like competing for each other to be better, not competing for either one of you to lose. Competition may arise around relationships, even including marriage and success due to societal conditioning. We all know that you shouldn't be competing with your partner in a marriage. You're supposed to be working together. But even in your friendships, this competition can create a silent rivalry and boundaries that are totally violated. Have you ever confided in one of your friends and you thought that, hey, let me share my vision? You know, the vision that God had given you. Sometimes when God gives you a vision, it's not to be shared. He may want you to implement that vision the way he wants you to do it. And sometimes your friends are not ready for that because the vision was never given to them. It's important as you continue to develop and nourish and progress in your friendships that you're able to identify fake friends. You know, the ones that are inconsistent with you, the ones that like to gossip all the time, the ones that lack the support you need, and they are emotionally exhausting. Listen, sometimes you can be around people and you think they're your friends, and all of those things I just said are at the forefront. Think about it for a minute. Is that a reflection of any of your friends that you have around you currently? When you're around fake friends, your body often recognizes unsafe relationships before your mind does. It's important that you listen to your body. Do you automatically tense up? Do you get headaches? Do you start feeling nervous or anxious or depressed? Do you feel like you're not safe around them? If you truly have authentic friendships, your authentic friendships will feel consistent. There's an exchange, a healthy exchange between you. There's accountability and emotional safety. You feel peace and not pressure. I want you to take some time to really ask yourself, are you surrounded around people who are truly supporting you, who are truly a part of your healing process whenever you're going through something? Or are you around people who are reinforcing your trauma? When you're truly going through something, your friends should be there for you. You should be able to talk to your friends without any hesitation. You should know that when you're talking to them, you're talking to them and you're not talking to a group of people. Yes, I said it. Confidentiality. Do your friends have it? Do you have it? Let's talk about you for a minute. Are you a good friend? Are you there when your friend needs you? Are you a confidant? Can they come to you and talk about things and they are safe in that environment with you? Are you the friend who can celebrate another friend's success? Truly celebrate, not being envious, not being jealous, not being any of those things that are not healthy for the friendship. Have you ever had anybody tell you you're a good friend? How do you know? Are you always looking for something as a result of being a friend, or are you just being who you are, a giving, nurturing, and kind person? Friends are not easy to come by the way. We may have a lot of acquaintances, people who we don't share anything with, or if we do, it's very superficial. Or do you really have deep, meaningful friendships? Truth is, it's hard to have those types of relationships because it takes a lot to give and to receive. You have to be mature. You have to understand that friendships are not a dime a dozen. Friendships take time to develop. It's a relationship that really, really means something. When you're a true friend, you are there in good times and bad times. You are there to give a listening ear of support when your friend is making decisions that might be good for them or maybe not. But a real friend will give their opinion, but not overstep their boundary. It's okay to even disagree with your friend. Sometimes we're not going to always agree. However, you're never going to do anything that's going to hurt your friend. Betrayal is real. If you are betraying your friend's trust, you have to ask yourself, why? Are you really that person's friend? Or are you there as an op? And opposition. Just trying to get the good gossip and information so that you can disseminate it to other people in hopes that that will hurt that person. If you think about it, I want you to think right now, how many really good friends do you really have? When you were down, when you were hurting, how many of those friends were really around? How many of those friends did you really feel comfortable talking to? when you were happy, maybe you're getting married or you've been blessed with a new home or a new car, and you're telling your friend, are they really excited for you? Or are they saying things like, I wanted to get that same kind of car and I was going to get that, but I decided against it. Oh, I was going to get that same kind of house, but then I decided we were going to do something different. Or I was going to, do the same kind of career you're doing, but then I just decided against it. It wasn't something I wanted to do. They don't really make that much money. Are you a really good friend? Are you there really to support that person genuinely? You know the type. You know the type that will stand in your face, but all the time they want to take your place. Those backstabbers. Are you one? Or are you genuinely that person that I could come to, that your friends could come to, and you're there to help without looking for anything in return? At the end of the day, good friendships are healthy for you. They actually help with the longevity of your life. When you have good social connection, you have good things around you, it helps you to live. It helps you to thrive. But when you have a difficult time connecting to people, or maybe you don't even want to connect to people, it may be detrimental to even your lifespan. I want you to think about this, and I'm going to challenge you today. I'm asking you, are you a good friend? And if so, can you identify good friends? Do you even want to be a good friend? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you bring to the relationship? Because a friendship is a relationship. It should be one in which you should be helping each other to grow mentally, physically, and spiritually. Are you doing those things? Or are you smiling in someone's face and all the time thinking you don't even like them? Here's one thing I'm going to ask. If you are not a good friend, then how do you become one? And the other is, if you're in a friendship and you find that that friendship is not healthy, do you know how to end the friendship? It's important that if you are making the decision to end a friendship, you have to understand why you're doing it for you. Is that relationship or that exchange or interaction affecting you in a way that's negative? Is it bringing out the worst in you? Are you becoming more depressed, more anxious, more bitter, etc.? Are you understanding why you're allowing yourself to be in a toxic friendship? Is it because you feel alone or lonely? Or are you identifying with that person's trauma because you share some similarities of that trauma? Are you insecure? Do you have low self-esteem? Do you think negatively about yourself, your self-concept? Is that why you're connecting to this friend or this group of friends? Are you confident in who you are? And what does that mean to you? Are you, I don't want to say overconfident, But are you narcissistic? Are you sucking up all the air in the room? All eyes on me and no one else? Do you not know how to empathize with others? Where are your boundaries? Even with friends, you establish healthy boundaries. If you don't have that, you will find that you'll be engaging in things that are maybe against your moral code. You know, maybe smoking weed or drinking excessively or popping pills or engaging in sexual escapades that you have no business engaging in. Following the crowd and not following your heart or your mind or your spiritual beliefs. Friendships are healthy if you allow yourself to engage in healthy exchange. Friendships can be detrimental if they're not really friendships. Ask yourself, really, let's go back to childhood. Who was your first friend? Was it your mom? Was it your dad? Was it your siblings? Was it your cousins? Was it the friend that you met in the neighborhood? Was it a friend that maybe you met at school? Who was your first friend? Do you remember? When did you learn to become a good friend and how? Who were your role models? I know, Black girl, sometimes we're not afforded the opportunity to really develop and establish good friends because maybe sometimes we feel like we're put in situations where we're supposed to compete against each other when we really don't have to. Let me tell you, earlier in the show, I did a commercial for an 11-year-old African-American girl, brilliant young lady. You know how I met her? I took my daughter to a braiding salon here in Houston, Texas, right in 3rd Ward. That's right, we were in the hood, and I loved it every second. And we were sitting in that salon, and we knew no one. It was just a bunch of African-American women. We had never met, but that connectivity was there. One started talking about her dream of developing some kind of oil for hair growth. And she just so happened to have some in her purse. And she started doing everybody's hair, putting oil in their hair. And then I was talking about mental health. And then one was talking about real estate. And then the little girl was sitting there crocheting. And I said, "Oh my God, you're crocheting. What are you making?" She says, "Oh, I'm making a hat." And her mom says, "I just started a website for her because she sells her hats." I said, "Absolutely, young sister." I took out $20, gave it to her and said, "I don't want a hat. I just want to invest in your business." Her mother started crying. The little girl said, "Really?" I said, "Absolutely, because that's what it's all about." Then her mom said, "Well, let us make you a hat." I said, "Let me buy a hat." So I ordered a hat from that young girl, and she's making my hat now. In the midst of all that, the young lady that was making the hair oil said, "Hey, can I put some hair oil on your daughter's head? I want to see if she likes it." I said, "Absolutely." She did it. She did it for the other young girl and some other ones, and they were like, "Oh my God, that's great." Just developing that sense of community. It wasn't about competition. It was about the beginning of some beautiful friendships. And to this day, I stay in contact with that young entrepreneur's mother. That's what it's all about. Society may tell you, Black girl, that you have to compete with every Black woman you see. I'm telling you now, you don't. Connect with her. Develop some type of network with her. Help her succeed. And in exchange, she will do the same. It's important that we are there for one another. We don't have to tear each other down. If I'm not your cup of tea, it's okay. But you don't have to tear me down. If you don't like what I said, if I've offended you in some kind of way, if I'm your friend, you should be able to come to me and talk about how you feel. And we should be able to process everything that you might be feeling. It's okay to say, I'm sorry. It's okay to ask for forgiveness. But we must not repeat the same offense. Today, when you are going about your business, I want you to take some time out. If you see a woman of color anywhere, compliment her, smile. It's okay to show yourself friendly. In order to have friends, you must do that. We're going to take one more commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about things you can do to become a better friend.
What if you're not unmotivated? What if you're depressed? Depression isn't just sadness, it's emotional heaviness, exhaustion, loss of interest, and feeling disconnected from yourself or others. And pushing harder often makes it worse, not better. Healing depression isn't about quick fixes, it's about addressing brain chemistry, thought patterns, and emotional load, sometimes with the support of medication alongside therapy. Therapeutic Alliance and Testing Center provides psychological testing and therapy supported by careful medication management when treating depression. Advanced mental health therapy, counseling, psychological testing, and medication management services all under one roof.
Welcome back to Say Something Black Girl with Dr. J. Let me get to the end. It is about knowing what it takes to be a good friend. First, I want to point out just a few things that I think are critical. One is just active listening. Being able to listen to your friend without trying to develop a rebuttal or a response before they even finish talking. Another thing is establishing an environment of trust, that I can trust you, that whatever I'm saying to you, I know it's confidential and that I won't hear it again. Being supportive, supporting your friend's ideas, ambitions, desires, goals, and dreams without judgment. Being there to be honest, but yet respectful. Speaking of respect, being respectful, not taking your friend for granted that they will always be there, or feeling like you can say or do anything and they're just supposed to accept it. Being mindful of how you're interacting with this friend and knowing that it's important that you respect their space, their peace, and their decisions. Being a good friend means that you're willing to maybe even step back from the friendship some and allowing them the space they need to grow. Not in an unhealthy competition kind of way, but allowing them what they need in order to be the best them. Acknowledging that they are capable and competent and reliable and just good people, and not taking advantage of that. Being willing to admit that you're wrong in certain situations. That's hard for a lot of us to do. But knowing that no one's perfect. Not even looking for the perfect friendship, because you're not a perfect person. Being able to establish trust. That's critical. If I can't trust you, if your word is not trustworthy, then what do we have? Being a friend is knowing how to be a friend. It's really important. The kind of friendship you seek is the kind of friendship you must give. A lot of people want a lot of great friends, but they're not willing to put in the work to be a friend. Friendships are not easy. They're not something that just falls out the sky. You're a friend, you're a friend, you're a friend. No, it takes work. And because it takes work, realistically, we can't have a whole lot of friends, maybe 5 good ones. And then after that, maybe not so much. In order to be a good friend, you must be a friend. You must be a good friend. I've given you some things to do that you can try in order to become a better friend. Be an active listener, develop a place of trust, not competing with your friends, showing support, acknowledging their success genuinely and celebrating it. Being genuinely just happy for them, not competing with them in an unhealthy manner, but really supporting. If you're wanting to be a good friend and you're wondering where to start, I want you to take some time today and just really write down the things that make you a good friend. Take some time to write those things down and then ask yourself, what do you need to do to be better? And then find like-minded people who have and share the same core values, spiritual beliefs, and love to engage in maybe activities that you like to engage in. But don't be afraid to learn new and different things. Setting healthy boundaries, not allowing a friend to run you over or make decisions for you, or you find that you're too afraid to say no when you know good and darn well you don't want to do it. And then you find yourself doing things out of resentment or obligation. No, I want you to be the friend that you seek. When people see you, they say, oh my God, you are such a cool girl. Absolutely. But you are authentic to yourself. Well, I hope, Black girl, that this was helpful to you. I hope that it sparked something in you to be a better person, not for someone else, but for yourself. True friendship, Black girl, starts with you being your own friend. Treat yourself well. Be kind to yourself. And you will find if you truly love yourself, then you will not have a problem loving others and developing healthy, long relationships. I look forward to you tuning in to the next episode of Say Something Black Girl with Dr. J. I'm your girl, Dr. J. Until the next episode.